Welcome back to the Maine Pageant Place. Today we have the honor of sitting down with Sasha Rae. Sasha, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Let's just dive in and let our viewers know a little bit about what the early life of Sasha looked like. What were some of your interests and hobbies?
Sure. I actually grew up as an apostolic Pentecostal, and I grew up with the long hair and the skirts and like standards, and so it's kind of interesting to see me now as a pageant girl because it was something that I wasn't allowed to really watch or do as a kid. I grew up in a home that was consumed with mental illness. My mom had some issues, and I absolutely love her so much, and I've learned a lot from her growing up, and so it's kind of cool to see how I've turned out throughout my years, because I've gone through a lot of things as a young kid and struggles and different things, and that's where my platform is really important to me.
Absolutely. So what kind of got you into pageantry? Tell us a little bit about that journey.
So that started out with my two girls. I have a daughter named Emelina and another daughter named Isabella, and it was the pandemic, and my kids went to a dog show or something like that and met Michelle or someone from MASP. And they were like, oh, they'd be really good at this. My oldest daughter does dog sledding, and she's a really cool person. And so does my daughter is really cool also. My other youngest daughter, Izzy, is really awesome too. And they're like, oh, they're really pretty. So we somehow found MASP, or they found us. I'm not sure exactly how that worked. And I'm like, let's try it. Let's try. And it kept them busy through the pandemic, kept their spirits up. It was a huge accomplishment for them. And then when I saw them go to states and they did pretty well for their first time ever on stage, I was like, I want to try this. I want to try this. I have stories to tell. It was still the pandemic. It was like 2021, I believe, was my first title, was Mrs. Penobscot Valley. And it was right after a issue with my PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And it's something that I was diagnosed when I was a freshman in high school. And it is something that affects my whole body in every aspect that makes a woman feel like a woman. And I went through a year of constantly bleeding, and I almost actually died from it. And I was super anemic, and I was like, I need to tell this story because girls need to understand that we need to speak up about what's going on with our bodies and tell my story about and the first time that I had it, I share that story too, usually when I'm in an interview with pageants and things like that, and with my platform.
Absolutely. That's really huge. And thank you so much for being so open and so candid about the struggles that we go through. And on a personal note, I really relate to kind of growing up in a home with some turmoil. So you don't really get to pursue things that you maybe have dreamed about. And I always admire it so much when a pageant girl kind of gets into it maybe a little bit older and takes that risk and kind of fulfills that childhood dream. So thank you as well for just jumping in and starting.
Yeah, when I was younger, I was very active in church. I loved music, and I was very much into the music program at school. I played instruments, I sang in choir, I did plays. I was an awkward drama kid that wore a skirt and had long hair. So it was kind of cool to now see that I can still use that in my pageants and different things and my talents. And yeah, I love it.
What's been one of the most difficult aspects of jumping into pageantry for you?
Truthfully, it's hard to be the one that stands out amongst everybody else. And many, many times in my life, I've been the biggest person in the room. And I call myself a super plus size woman because I'm bigger than that plus size. I am a 28, 30 size. And it's hard to find wardrobe. It's hard to find clothes in that, definitely for pageants. And it's not uncommon for me to be the largest person in the room. And being that person that people look at or differently or judge before they even know me. It's very common. And that's why I really love the system I'm in with Maine Academic Scholarship Pageants and Crown Cares, because they encourage me to get on the stage. They encourage me backstage. They love to see I bring in a different element of diversity, and I'm able to advocate for other plus size women in pageantry, super plus size women in pageantry.
Well, you're really breaking down doors and barriers, aren't you? Because I think you've had some amazing opportunities since you joined the pageant world. So let's let our audience know a little bit about some of your success you've had in breaking those doors right off the hinges.
Sure. So a few years back, I got the opportunity to go to New York City and walk in New York Fashion Week as probably one of the biggest plus size women there. And people were very kind, it was a different industry for me, and it was something new. And it was great because I got so many positive comments back from designers. They loved that was a challenge for them, and they loved that. And it was a great opportunity. And they actually asked me to come back after. And I haven't, because I have a life and I have a family and I have husband and dogs and life. But one day I plan on coming back and doing that. Who knows what I'll be able to accomplish. But joining the fashion industry is hard. I've done other fashion shows too. With Whitley, I think it's feeding
Flowers that feed.
Flowers that feed. I got to do that one year, and that was such a great opportunity also. So being able to open the doors for super plus size women on a bigger stage or a runway is a huge accomplishment for me.
Absolutely. I mean, you're breaking down stigmas for people and you're helping other people be brave in their own skin. And that's one of the most valuable things somebody can do with their life, is to have that authenticity to help others feel like they're not alone.
Yeah.
So tell us, what's next for you in the world of pageantry? What do you have up your sleeves?
Well, recently I actually competed at Maine Academic Scholarship Pageant this year for Mrs. Maine, and I got first runner-up. That is a huge accomplishment for me. I've been competing for 6 years, and that is the first time I've ever gotten to first 2. I've been in top 5 before, but not like on the higher end of top 5. So it was a huge accomplishment, and I am very appreciative of the judges there because they understood my story. They understood what I was trying to say, and just being able to advocate and break those stereotypes was a huge accomplishment for me. And I'm so proud of Melissa, the one that won. And we're like good friends now. Like I really am. She did an awesome job. But now my next accomplishment is that I just took on another title, and I am what am I? I'm Mrs. Sweetheart role model, and the role model means a lot to me because for the last 5 years I've won the Maine State Role Model Award
Wow.
and that's a huge accomplishment. I think this year we had 7 to 9 girls I was going against, and it being able to win that along with my 2 girls also winning role model for their divisions was a big accomplishment for our family on whole. So I will be returning, and who knows what's going to happen, and I'm really excited to be able to do that again.
That just speaks volumes to who you are as a person, that your children are also getting that amazing accolade. Like, that's just such a huge accomplishment. And I hope you ladies all celebrated big for that win.
We did. I think we ended up in Olive Garden, but that's okay. I can't eat a lot of that. But I was so proud of my kids, like being able to be on the stage with my kids. So they actually did a really cool thing. They actually, like, when they introduced the award, they brought all 3 of us at the same time. And we all got that picture of all of us on the stage at the same time, getting our awards. And it was a huge thing, like, for our family. Like, when we do our community service, we take it very seriously. And we find that it humbles my children, and we do it as a team. And we love being able to impact our community.
Absolutely. And I mean, your impact is just beginning because you're still a newer pageant queenie. So it's really just the world is your oyster and you're going to take it by storm. I can just tell.
I try. There's good days and bad days. But I love being part of the family that MASP has. That's what I thrive, and that's why we keep returning. I think before, I kind of talked to you a little bit before, is about my daughter, Emelina, or Emma. We always joke around about her being the best loser ever because she is just happy to be there. Like, she's that first kid that's like, awesome job, I'm so proud of you, and I don't care if I win or lose. I really don't care. She's just happy to be on that stage and with her friends and just dancing. This year she danced on stage. And it was the funniest thing, but that's just who she is, like, as a person, and being able to show my girls that it's okay to lose sometimes. It's okay to not be the best at everything. And that's what I think a lot of pageant girls should know and learn. Like, it's okay to be a little different. It's okay to not fit the mold. It's okay to be a little bigger. It's okay to be kind of small. Like, it's short, tall, it comes in all shapes and sizes. That's beauty. Beauty comes in any shape or size.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. And
That's what I was trying to say.
That representation through the family, like you're building these girls to be so confident. And I think that's the best mentality to walk into any pageant of, like, it doesn't matter if I win. The win is me being here. The win is me being brave enough to put myself out there, because it's a scary thing to do, to be judged by others. That's something we normally try to kind of hide from in life. Yeah. So it just creates such a different confident person that these girls are going to have such a more integrated and successful life for you giving them that opportunity and leading the way.
See, we started with pageantry to help my daughter, Emelina. She had a really bad speech impediment, and she got bullied severely because of it. And she was just in kindergarten. Like, it's hard to even say that she was in kindergarten. She was getting bullied to the point of, I don't want to go to school, Mom. And actually another news center did a story on her. And she shared her story because she got a couple buddy benches and different things. But the whole reason she got into this pageantry, it wasn't just like, I guess I should have explained this before, but it wasn't just the pandemic. It was because she needed the confidence. She needed something to look forward to. She needed to make some friends that aren't going to make fun of her. She went through excessive speech therapy, and now she's able to talk. She still has a little lisp, but it's Emma. It's just who she is. And it doesn't stop her from doing anything anymore. And she's a very good advocate for other kids with speech impediments. And she loves the Crown Cares. She's very, very passionate about it. And that's an anti-bullying organization through MASP and Crossroads. And it's great to be able to advocate and share her story. And she goes places, to schools, to different places, and shares that. And I go along with her because I love being part of her journey also, and seeing her be an accomplished young woman.
And that's what I love about pageantry, is you really can find your tribe, which is what life is all about. We're not going to fit in everywhere across the board, but it's about finding those people that empower us and accept us for exactly who we are.
It is. And I wish my best pageant friend was here with me, because I would have loved to tell the story about a couple of years ago, because I got diagnosed with MS, and I still competed after not being able to feel my hips to my legs. And she was right there. She's also an EMT, which is a huge, great thing to have backstage. And she knew that something was wrong, but she kept calm, and she just helped me. And for some reason, I packed packing tape, like clear packing tape, in my suitcase. I don't know how it got there, but I grabbed it. And she had to help me literally use the packing tape and tape my heels to my feet so I could just walk down the runway that year. That was not this year, but last year. And I ended up having to be in the hospital for like 6 days after. And they found out that I have early stages of MS. And I couldn't have done it without my sister Queen. She is an amazing person. Her name is Jen Joseph, and I really, really appreciate her so much. And we always joke around about it now, but I don't think she realizes that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you have that support system and somebody to care for you throughout this journey. And that's what is so important about helping others be educated on pageantry and what it really is, because sometimes in our darkest moments when we want to crawl and hide under a rock, other people lift that rock up and remind us of how beautiful we are on the inside and outside, and help us get the opportunities we deserve no matter what life is throwing at us.
And it's just like, she sends little text messages here and there, and like, it's just great to know that I have a family outside my family, because my immediate family isn't actually that supportive of my journey. They don't understand it. It's hard to explain. So I have a pageant family that just adores me. And sometimes my mom tries. I love her so much. She tries to understand, but she finds it vain. And some people do, and that's okay. I respect everybody's views. But some people just don't understand it. And I always say, just come and watch, just come and see. Like, it's an amazing experiment. Like, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't sitting in that audience and seeing these other women like go on the stage, and all of them were different too. And that's what it's all about, is just celebrating women of all types, colors, shapes, anything like that. Like, I'm so proud to be part of it.
So let's kind of hit two birds with one stone, because I know it's kind of unique for you. Let's let our followers know a little bit more about your platform and also how they can find you, all wrapped up into one.
Sure. So my platform is called I'm a Teapot. And you probably think of the little song, I'm a little teapot, short and stout, and where's my handle, all that little song as a kid. So my husband, I've known my husband and I have been like best friends for like a long time. I love him with my whole heart. So he used to call me his little teapot because I was short and stout, like, whatever. I didn't take it badly at all. He's like 6'4", big brawly man, so I look small. So he called me his little teapot. And then I just sat there and I thought, and I said, how can I relate to being a teapot? And I said, I feel like there's two teapots in this world. And there's one that sits on the table that has the cracks and the little chips and different things, that has a story to tell. Like, it's old, and it's the one that you use to put on a table when you're having a tea party, and it's a conversation starter. That's me. And then there's the ones that you collect, and they're absolutely gorgeous. They're beautiful, and you put them on the shelf because you don't want to hurt it or break it or anything like that. And that's a different kind of teapot. And I'm not that. And that's okay. There's people like that are just really pretty, and they just do things for not the right reasons and just want the validation for their views. I'm that chipped, cracked teapot that gets used regularly, and I have a story to tell. And I'm like, this is how I'm going to explain it. And it's kind of cool. I love going into interview and talking about it, because sometimes people get it and some people times don't get it. And it's like, on my platform, I use it almost like a blog, and I take my life experiences, like being sexually assaulted as a young age, my ADHD, my PCOS, like overcoming a lot of things, like mental illness in my home, and being who I am today, and being able to empathize with others and be able to share my stories. And that's what I do. And there's many times that people are like, oh, wow, I didn't know you went through that. Yeah, I've overcome a lot, and that's okay. And I love being able to connect with people just like me that are different or not quite understood, because it means a lot to me to be able to be a good person. I guess that's a way to explain it. But as I said, and then everyone around me, like, I look at my children as little teacups, and I have my teapot, and I'm pouring good things into their cups. And that's how I explain that. And people around me, to make them feel special also.
Amazing. So well said. Thank you so much for your bravery and your authenticity, and for coming in today to share your story, Sasha.
And that my blog or my I'm a Teapot group is on Facebook. You can find it there. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.